This series of tutorials will teach you the basics of Command Combat Civil War. This fourth tutorial shows the heart of the game, the command color coding system. Unless stated otherwise in the scenario, each division commander starts the game with one of three command colors, red, white, or blue. You will need color-coded markers of each of these orders. Red stands for attack mode, white stands for maneuver mode, and blue stands for defense mode. Every brigade under a division general is automatically under that general's command color until it moves more than 15 inches away from the general. When it does, it is given a marker of the last color it had been under. So if a general had a blue order and one of his brigades moves more than 15 inches away, it is given a blue order. When a brigade comes back to within 15 inches of its general, the color-coded marker is removed from the brigade and it automatically goes under the order of its division general. Note that this does not occur when the brigade comes within 15 inches of any other general. Each color-coded order gives special bonuses and restrictions to all units under it. Here's how each order works. Red, attack. When under a red order, the division is prepared to take the battle to the enemy. It is therefore unrestricted in its movements. It may maneuver as close as it wants to the enemy, and even charge it, supporting any of its own charges with other brigades and artillery. It can also countercharge if an enemy charges them. White, maneuver. When under a white order, the division is trying to maneuver, or possibly fool the enemy with its maneuvers. The men are moving with speed as the goal rather than fighting, with their guns slung over their shoulders or across their chests, marching as fast as they can without regard to defense or attack. They therefore get 1 extra inch of movement, and can do at the double marches. At the double means the player rolls the die for extra movement. If it is cavalry, the player moves that many inches in addition to its normal movement. If it's infantry, divide the rolled number in half. This is the number of extra inches it can move. This distance is, of course, affected by terrain. Once a unit moving at the double reaches its full distance, it is in disorder. If a unit moving at the double began in disorder, it must roll to see if it has stragglers. A veteran unit loses a half a stand on a 1, a standard unit on a 1 or 2, and a green unit on a 1 to 3. Units under a white order can also be placed in react mode, meaning they can be set to interrupt the enemy turn and make a move. Units in a white order, however, cannot move within 4 inches of the enemy. And if any enemy moves within 4 inches of them, they must withdraw the next time they are activated. Blue, defend. When under a blue order, the division is taken a defensive posture. It cannot move closer than 6 inches toward the enemy unless it is specifically taking a defensive area, such as a wall or an objective, in which case it may move up to 4 inches from the enemy, but no closer. Units in a blue order get +1 to their defensive fire, and all units may be used in defensive fire when any of their brigades are charged. Units in a blue order also ignore the first inch when being forced to pull back. During the command phase, new orders may be sent out. The orders are sent by the Corps General, and he can only send out as many orders as he has leadership points remaining in that turn. So if he has 4 leadership points and he spent 3 rallying troops, he can only send out 1 order. Order markers travel up to 15 inches per turn, meaning that if a division general is within 15 inches of the Corps General, the order reaches him immediately. Terrain is ignored when it comes to orders being sent, except when it comes to impassable terrain, which must be crossed at passable points. If the order does not reach the target immediately, place the marker along its path. If it is touched or hit by the enemy, it is removed from play. The division general remains in its current order until the order reaches him. A division general may attempt to change his own order by spending a leadership point. He can only do this if he has leadership points remaining, and he can only do it once per turn. He does this by rolling against his initiative rating. If he rolls equal to or lower than his initiative, his order is changed. But he must roll again. On a 1 to 5, it's the order the player wants. On a 6 to 10, it's the other order. Place the new order marker next to the general. A Corps General may even send an order to an individual brigade, bypassing its division general. He simply places the new order next to the brigade, and that brigade is under that order even if it is different from the division commanders until removed either by the Corps General or by the division general. A brigade that is more than 15 inches away from its division general cannot remove its order marker. It must be under some order. If it wants to try to change its own order, it must roll a 1 during the command phase. Then it must roll to see if it takes the desired order, or the opposite one. Remember that many generals have special abilities that they can use. Most of the time, the brigades under their command can use these abilities. However, they can only use these abilities as long as they are within the command radius of their division commanders. All rules listed in the general's special abilities supersede the main rules. Once you have mastered giving out commands, you will be able to master the battlefield, and victory may be yours. Go on to the next tutorial to see how to end and how to win each game. To see more tutorials on everything from creating your army to using it in battle, check out the other tutorials and visit us at www.commandcombat.com. Happy gaming, everybody!